Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple online YouTube Sunday service. Today's service is for July 4th, 2021, and we wish you a happy 4th of July. Hope you're enjoying the day today. Today's service is just our regular Sunday service, and so we will begin with the Vandana Tisarana, the praising the Buddha and the Buddha's enlightenment and taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. After that, we will chant the Sutra Gassho to Amida and then recite the Golden Chain of Love. After that, I will share a Dharma message with you, and we will then chant the Metta, the loving kindness meditation, followed by the singing of the Nembutsu and some closing words and announcements. So glad to have you with us today as we continue our online series of Sunday services, and I hope that these services are beneficial to you or meaningful, at least enjoyable, and please do enjoy this service today. Thank you very much. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Tassa
This light shines throughout the world. I Gassho to Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seed sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. I Gassho to Amida. Springtime brings the happy birds. Their songs all praise Amida. I join them in Nembutsu. I Gassho to Amida. When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. Buddha's voice, my voice are one. I Gassho to Amida. When I'm lonely, I recite Namo Amida Butsu. Then I feel great compassion. I Gassho to Amida. Nembutsu in work and play, every day with Amida, every moment filled with light. I Gassho to Amida. Remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I Gassho to Amida. In the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night, I Gassho to Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This great power guides my life. I Gassho to Amida. Namandabu, 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 Namandabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Welcome once again, and I would like to share a few thoughts about the Buddhist teaching with you. So today is the 4th of July. Today we are celebrating the 4th of July, and I hope you will enjoy the day and enjoy all the customary activities of the 4th of July, barbecue, all those kinds of things. But I'd like to reflect a little bit about the meaning of 4th of July, or at least use it as a time of reflection for for the values that we ought to be aspiring for, I think, in this country. So the actual name of the 4th of July is Independence Day. So independence means freedom of personal freedom, freedom of control from someone else. And that means freedom, that means liberty, which is an important part of what the United States, I think, meant to the original inhabitants, original founders, and as they broke away from the mother country, England, and tried to create a new country. And yet at the same time, it has also been a kind of bone of contention of the country of what freedom means and who is entitled to be free and so on, and who isn't entitled to be free. Anyway, 4th of July commemorates the establishment of this country, whose formation, as many of us were taught in school, I hope people are still taught this in school, but when I was growing up, and I think most of us learned this, that the ideal of a nation, that it was a nation that was meant to be ruled by just laws, not just rule of law, but rule of just law, and the principles of protecting the freedom, rights, and human dignities of all its inhabitants from the arbitrary whims of the powerful. I think that's the most important thing, that the spirit of many of those who tried to articulate the vision for this country, insincere possibly as they may have been, or hypocritical as they may have been, although we're all hypocritical in so many ways, but nevertheless, they had a very powerful idea, a very strong notion that what people really needed to be protected from, what a government was really about, was to protect people from the whims of the powerful. And the rule by the whim of the powerful has been really the norm of human civilization since the beginning. So that was a very radical idea, I think, a very radical idea. Anyway, America was founded on the belief that might does not equal right. The ideals upon which this country was founded were, of course, articulated by men who often paradoxically believed that the lofty convictions that they espoused applied mainly to members of their own race and gender, and not so much to others. Nevertheless, when these self-evident truths were applied, when these self-evident truths are applied as they are meant to be to all human beings, they express the true spirit of what this country is or should be, regardless whether we fail to live up to them or not, or that many become so deluded by the travails of life that they seek security, as so many seem to be doing, in the lives of those who seek and wield unjust power. Unfortunately, the ideal of freedom and justice for all, while often pursued and achieved in small ways, is further than ever from being truly fulfilled in this time that we now live. Tragically, it is now even rejected by an alarmingly large percentage of this country's citizens. So given current conditions, you might think that this 4th of July, Independence Day, would be a day when we all look at ourselves very critically and reflect on our failings and our potential for realizing those truths and virtues upon which our country was founded. But the celebration of the 4th of July has seldom been a time to reflect upon noble ideals. It is customarily dedicated to parades, sports, and fireworks, accompanied by excessive eating and drinking. Like every other holiday in this country, sacred or secular, the 4th has become just another day for stores, nowadays mostly online stores, I guess, for stores to have sales and to encourage the most cherished American cultural practice of compulsive consumerism. If a visitor from another planet were to observe our festivities on this day, to see us, to watch us, that space alien would probably assume that the inhabitants of this land were just having a party, not celebrating their cherished ideals and values. I wonder what they would think about us. As a Buddhist, I wish I could show that space visitor a country in which everyone feels truly safe in their own lives, where everyone has a roof over their heads, where everyone is able to live a decent life, and where no one falls into poverty or homelessness and is abandoned by those who are comfortable. I wish I could show these visitors a land where everyone receives a good education that emphasizes wisdom, insight, and understanding, where compassionate medical care is available to all, where communities are strong because people are kind and care about their neighbors, and where no one is forgotten or neglected because they cannot afford the basic needs that everyone should possess and share. I would like to show our visitor from space a country where financial success is possible, but always and only if accompanied by a sense of profound responsibility to share the greater benefits one has received in such a way as to make life better for everyone. I would especially like to be able to demonstrate to this alien that this is a country of citizens who live in appreciation of what they have received, of what they have, who treasure life and never waste the precious resources of the land or harm the earth, which is the source of our life. Finally, I would like to show our visitor from space that ours is a community of people who never take advantage of each other, who do not feel entitled to having more than they need, but rather always desire the best conditions for all beings, not only in this country, but everywhere in the world. Well, you might say that this is a dream, a childish fantasy, and that I should grow up and try to live in the real world. To that I say, most of us in this country, for years, this American culture, have long been living almost entirely in a fantasy already, but a deep, empty fantasy in which self-centered, egocentric dreams of personal and individual success and triumph are always just within reach, where appearance matters more than substance, and where one can self-righteously judge and harshly condemn the faults of others, oblivious to one's own ignorance, brutality, and hypocrisy. In this country, we live in a fantasy world of greed and violence, where justice does not mean fairness, but only punishment for others who may offend me in some way. In this fantasy world, we believe that all of our problems can be solved with anger, violence, and the suppression of those with whom I disagree. And the true ideals, are the true ideals on which the United States was founded merely an unreal dream? The Buddha taught us that we should awaken to life as it really is and not live in a dream world. However, the potential of what America, really any community, any society could be, is not so much really a dream as an aspiration, a moral and spiritual commitment to live in such a way as to transform selfishness into generosity, cruelty and violence into compassion and peace, ignorance into wisdom, punishment into healing, and fear into trust. The question is, are we willing to make that aspiration? Today, many people seem unconcerned about the decline of American society and feel content to permit the erosion of our most basic and precious democratic traditions. As Buddhists, we need to understand that our own happiness and well-being always and unequivocally depend on the well-being and happiness of others, of all others. To ignore what is happening to my neighbors all over the country, all over the world, because I still possess my own slice of the pie, is unmistakably to live in a state of arrogance and delusion. So let us, as American Buddhists, aspire and work for the dream of a peaceful, kind, generous, and open-hearted society. Let us aspire to renew the noble purpose of America as a place where human rights, justice, and liberty do not depend on privilege or power. Let us refuse to live in fear of imagined enemies by remembering what we have always been and always ought to be: a haven for the tired, the poor, and the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Thank you very much for listening. Let us put our hands together in Gassho and recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo.
Namo
Well, thank you once again for being with us today for our YouTube Sunday service. I do hope you enjoyed the service and are able to take something away that is meaningful for you. We will continue with our online Sunday services as long as we can, as well as beginning to introduce more more in-person services in the temple. But many of you who are watching our videos don't live close by, either don't live on Maui or you're homebound or you're not able to make it, for one reason or another into the temple. So we do want to keep doing these services for you. I have a few announcements to share with you. We will be having our public Hatsubon services in the temple on July 17th and 24th. And again, as I've announced before, you do have to be signed up for these services. So if you haven't received a letter from us or been contacted, please call the temple. So these services are on July 17th and 24th, on both days at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And so you have a choice you choose one of the services. So you do have, as I say, you have to sign up for that. So please let us know. Please contact us if you're interested. For those of you who aren't able to attend the public services and would like a private service, we can do that, at a convenient time for you. Or if you are not on Maui but would still like to have a service via Zoom, we can also do that for you. So please let us know. Our next in-person service will be July 11th. We will be having our in-person family service, and then on July 25th, we will be having our in-person Obon major service in the temple. On both of those days, we will also have an online service as well. Let's see. We also have an announcement from our Kahului Hongwanji BWA, our Buddhist Women's Association. So they are participating in the Salvation Army School Supply Drive here on Maui. Between July 1st and July 16th, you may donate school supplies by dropping them off at the temple office. So just either come in regular business hours or give us a call and let us know that you'd like to drop off some school supplies to be donated to the Salvation Army School Supply Drive. And also, there is a blood bank drive here on Maui, July 20th, I think through the 22nd, at Cameron Center. So you have to call them for appointment. The phone number is 808-848-4770. That's 808-848-4770. So that is the blood bank drive if you would like to donate blood on between July 20th and 22nd. In terms of the school supplies, by the way, there's a long list. So really, anything you can think of is probably on the list. What they need: notebooks, pencils, pens, copy paper, 3-ring binders, backpacks, all these kinds of things, crayons, markers, and so on. So if you are in doubt, just give us a call. Thank you very much, and you can check the scrolling text at the end of the video for these announcements and other items. So thank you very much, and let's conclude our service now by reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.